All right. Let's see. Here we go. Hey, everybody. Welcome aboard. It's Mark Ruggiero here. Another exciting episode of Ruggiero's Corner. And we're joined today by fellow wargamer out of near Chicago, Ivan Hurtado. And I see we got three people with us. Looks like we got Nguya from Canada,
Oh man,
Stacking Limit. I don't know, Stacking Limit. Where are you from, buddy? Say
let us know.
hi.
Let us know. Let
And
us
as
know.
people join, hey, there's Meandering Mike from up by Seattle, I believe. So, what we're going to do, Ivan, is like I said, so I'm going to, let's see, Ivan is, I'm going to let him do his own introduction, but he's from outside of Chicago. He's a ripe old age of in his 20s. I'm super excited to do this. It's like the new generation's here and on board. And, Be New, Virginia. Hey, all right. Be New from Virginia.
Let's
Nice.
go, man.
So
International.
really, really quick, I'm going to say this. So, and as we go, I'll update. But people that get on, ID yourself in the chat, and we
Please do.
will get to those questions and whatnot. So, Ivan, I always start off the show with that. And why don't you introduce yourself, whatever you want to say, and how did you find out about wargaming, especially at your ripe old age?
Got
So
it. Got it. So, how's it
please.
going, everyone? Mark, thank you a million times for having me on here. This is exciting. I don't know if it shows right now, but man, I'm beyond excited. So yes, I'm Ivan. I'm 24 years of age. I'll be 25 in November. So, slightly getting on there. But let's see. As far as wargaming, board gaming goes, I loved miniatures as a kid. I'm born here in America, born here right outside. I live in the suburbs of Chicago, and I live in a suburb named Bensonville. And it's funny because every time you ask somebody out over here, how far Chicago is 30 minutes from everything. So it's 30 minutes from the city. If you're lucky, you get about 25 minutes. You can get, right to the heart of downtown. But as I was saying, I was born here and I have Mexican parent immigrants. And I mentioned that because I grew up well. I'll never say, I was ever restricted or, I was playing like rocks and whatnot. But, you know, I loved miniatures growing up as a kid. My dad and I always used to go to flea markets, and that's where that was like my first introduction to them. And I was like, man, like, what are these things? Do you play games with them? Are they just to look at? Can you smash them together? And growing up, it's
Oh,
just, the
yeah.
affinity grew larger and larger, and as I wanted to get them, my parents never really wanted me to get toys that small just because I was always losing stuff as a kid, and I wasn't necessarily the most responsible little kid growing up with that kind of stuff. And even if you wanted some higher end, miniatures, I know they can get a little bit more expensive getting into that. So I wouldn't say I built an envy on it, but as I grew older, really, started liking it. And then I guess somewhere along the line, got introduced into board games and well, through school. So like Life, Monopoly, all the classic ones, Connect Four, stuff like that. And I love the aspect of, building a team and playing with others. You get to see a side of people that you don't really see, as your friend. You might know your buddy, but how does he react when his house gets foreclosed on Monopoly, or when you got to charge him rent, on there, So I really enjoyed that aspect. So that's just a little bit about how I got, my first introductions into it. And so really,
So
uh,
so that so really quick. So I don't want to sidetrack you, but
no, go ahead, go ahead.
the introduction to board gaming. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead. No. Go ahead. Finish your thought. Sorry. I
Okay,
want to. I want to. I have a
so
follow up. So.
life goes on. I got into video games. Video games were my thing for a while. Got that into a bit, and then I would want to say, well, we're in 2024 now. I think the first big board game that I found out about that it was Twilight Imperium. And I think I stumbled upon the video on YouTube on how to play Twilight Imperium. And I was like, what's this? And then, I saw some of the components, some of the pieces of the game. And my mind just sparked, as an 18 and 19-year-old, and I was like, whoa. I was like, what's going on here? And I guess, they were explaining how to play it, and I guess the complexity, the how the game worked. I never knew board games could be ever get so big. And that's just Twilight Imperium that we're talking about here. Forget about some of the hex and counter games that I see on, the board gamer, and some of the monster wargaming pages on Facebook. So that's kind of where the rabbit hole started. So I found out about Twilight Imperium. Time goes on, and I think I stumbled upon a video from Harsh Rules. Harsh Rules. I know I mentioned him to you. I
Mm-hmm.
found a video on how to play Axis and
Yeah,
Allies
YouTube
Global.
channel.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Global 1940. And I clicked on that, and I was just astounded as to how much can go into a board game. As I said, growing up in video games, everything is right there. You want something to do, here's a menu for it, here's this, here's that. Never getting your book, your nose back down to a
Well,
book. And
yeah, no, Ivan. So let me really quick. Okay, I'm
yeah,
gonna
yeah, yeah.
let me. So first, we've got, just so you know, we've got. Let's see. Did he disappear? Where'd he go? We got Vlad from the Philippines on, which is
Como
really
está
cool.
Vlad?
Yeah, there you go. See, I could only talk dirty words in Tagalog, so I learned that. But Nguyen, Chris out of Canada was asking about. I just want to answer him really quick on the
Oh
there's
yeah.
on the picture I did for the intro on this on YouTube. It's a picture of a tank. I stole that from somewhere from the internet. It's a French. Uh, I believe it's a French Char B from World War II, like 1940. And somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, 1939 somewhere in there. But I believe that's what that tank was that I stole the image for. Um, what I was curious about, so I know you mentioned Twilight. Was it Imperium or Struggle?
Imperium. I
Okay,
did
all
learn about
right.
struggle later on, actually, though.
Okay, no, so Twilight Imperium though is even more recent release, right, than
Yes.
Twilight Struggle. And I heard you back earlier talk about, so we used to go to flea markets, right? And you'd
Yes,
find
sir.
just board games there, or did you actually find some like strategy games? Like, because
No. No, no.
okay,
So back at those flea markets, it was more war miniatures. Yeah, if anything, it was like the war miniatures that I really got into. I think I should have specified there.
okay, all right. So what? So when you say war miniatures, do you play miniatures?
Hopefully, maybe in the near future, that's my next endeavor. Never painted in my life. I have assembled, but never painted in my life. And
Uh,
actually, I'm in a battle group uh um page in Facebook, and that's kind of something that I was looking at. Very hefty rules there.
uh, let's
But
see.
what's that one all about?
It's a little Roman guy. It's one of my things that I'll never finish because I actually never work on them. But it's a 28 millimeter Roman. Let's see.
Hmm. There
Uh,
we go. That's a little bit better. Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
can't really see. Anyways, it's my wife does really good. I've got a couple painted, but can't. I'll reach for them later. But my wife's a great painter. But she does. Oh, here you go. Here, let's see if you can see these. Now I haven't painted in like 4 months because I have not been motivated. But you see that at all?
Oh man.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
they're
see, like
Romans.
that'll be my next endeavor, I guess, after
Now
right now.
now my wife kills it, but she doesn't do historical. But she does Warhammer.
Warhammer. I have a buddy
She don't play. She just likes painting them.
painting.
So.
Got it.
But what I was gonna say was, um, you have. I remember, we talked. So Twilight Imperium, and then I know you talked about Axes and Allies,
Yes, sir.
right? And I want to ask you some stuff about that. But is there any? What's would you say is the hardest? Like what you would say, oh man, that's a hardcore war game that you have in your collection, or
Right
that
now,
you have right now. What's like?
I have two, and I maybe
Okay.
I
I
have
want to
two.
see
Let me
him.
pull these
Yeah.
up right now, and I'll pull up this one first because I'm pretty sure this will be everyone will know what this one is, and this is currently what I'm learning. But
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. Starter kit. No, that's nice, man.
starter
Awesome.
kit has had a grip on me since I found out about it and learning the rules, and I actually just got to play it. Look at that! Yeah, I just saw the post of the book that's coming out for the art of it, right?
Oh, Roger McGowan, you got to order that. I mean, let me share. So I'm gonna just share really quick, and all the old guys have heard this, but so 1977, we're gonna roll going the Wayback Machine, right? And I'm 12 years old, and I'm doing a sleepover at a friend of mine's house that he had like more money than I. I mean, I didn't suffer. I grew up in an Italian middle class white
Right, right, right.
family, so but anyways, I show up at his house for our sleepover, and he pulls out this game, and I wish I had. I didn't think to grab it, but he pulls out this game called Squad Leader, and he's like, Mark, man, this is what we're gonna play tonight, and oh my
No prior
god, it was
knowledge
it.
of squad leader or anything
No, it was
beforehand, correct?
brand new. It was,
Okay.
and it was well to me. Yeah, I think that's the year it came out, 1977, and it was so breakthrough, like ranged machine gun fire, squad. I mean, it was like it was amazing, right? And
Mhm.
anyways, the artwork, yes. If people don't know, Roger McGowan, and I posted it all over the place too, is coming out with his own book on his artwork and the history of wargaming. And I am a huge freaking fanboy of Roger McGowan. I met him. We had a beer together, and yes, he doesn't walk on water, and he's just a human being. But what a great guy! And he's probably in his late 70s now, but he's probably directly responsible through just his graphic art alone, in my opinion, of helping. A lot of great memories. And he did art for GMT and stuff up until he's got a new guy that took it over, but up until just a few couple of years ago, I think. So, let's see, Vlad, sorry, says, I have a War of the Ring board game, first edition. I was started painting years ago. Yeah, War of the Ring, man, absolutely outstanding game. And then, okay, so ASL, so starter kit. So, have you started playing it yet?
So let's see. Look, I'll even open. Look, I'll show you. I bought this dice tower just for starter kit. I wish I was good in woodworking so I could have made something like this, but
Oh,
I got,
nice.
I
See,
got
I
this
like that.
specific
See,
piece.
whether you know it or not, you're already going pro, right?
Yeah,
Like,
man.
you've seen some of my videos that, like, I literally have some custom made die towers, and it's all part. So there's what I call, there's that show. I never really watched it, but it's called like Pimp My Ride or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So I
yeah. I
call
know.
it pimping my games, whatever. It's like you can get nice upgraded stuff. And look, it's a hobby that hopefully you'll enjoy for many, many, many years. And it's worth making sure your stuff that you have around you, I think, is
You're making me
great.
cheese up, man, right now because man, like
Now
because
show
look,
off, dude. Whatever
look,
you got.
these
That's
these
right.
tweezers, my girlfriend directly came from my girlfriend. I was like, hey, I'm starting to get into these games, counter games. I know, my thumbs, I'm all over the place with them. She helped me out with these, and the shout out a huge shout out to my girlfriend. Every single storage component that if I ever show off, she helped me find these. Like I'm already, these are
Well, see, that's
everything.
good. It's good that you're up front with her about this stuff. Because let me let you in on a little secret, okay? That like and I've been with my wife 40 years, so we met when we were what shit I was 20 years old. But
Hey,
when you're not up front, I've seen it happen. People, they get with somebody, and then they disappear, and then they come back, and they're like, but no, that's great, she's a keeper. right? Like,
Yes.
and just be upfront about it. Yeah, it's really good. Um, yeah, I've played full ASL. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you. One thing that you should think about. All right, starter kits are great. If you really like it, like play them. And some people, that's all they play, and it's phenomenal. Like MMP supporting that a lot, right?
Yeah.
But if you have any interest at all in full ASL, eventually you get yourself, and you can get online too, but get the rule book and Beyond Valor at least. And you won't have to unlearn, because starter kits are great, but they don't cover everything. And a lot of people
Right.
say, oh, it's a lifestyle. Oh, look at the rule book. You know what? Use like 20% of the rules, but it's yeah, ASO, it's amazing. It's an amazing game. Okay, so that being said, what else? And so we have 11 people, just really quick. So hey, if you're watching and you haven't ID'd yourself in the comment, or you got a question you want to ask, please say, hey, I'm here, blah blah blah. Here's where I'm from, and ask away, and we'll get to your questions. So.
I'll
So,
reiterate
and
that
you
I
said,
can't
how
really.
did you pronounce your name? I said Ivan. You said Even, right? Or Yvonne.
Ivan.
Okay.
Now, Ivan is good too, though. I have plenty of people that call me
No,
Ivan too,
I
though.
want to
But
I want to be respectful. So Yvonne. So what?
Ivan,
Who are you named after?
Ivan. Well, I think at the time, I think I was named after a soccer player, Ivan.
Ah,
My
okay,
dad
that
was into
makes
soccer.
sense. Totally
Yeah,
makes
yeah,
sense,
yeah.
man.
And no. And funny enough, growing up, and because of that whole Ivan thing, I grew up going to predominantly white schools. Wasn't just white schools, but had some minorities in there. But
No, that's all right, bro.
I used to hate my name because everyone would say Ivan. And I vividly remember asking my mom. I was like, "Mom, why am I Ivan? Everyone else has a cool name, a nice name, and I'm Ivan." And she just like laughed it off. She's like, maybe
Well,
one day.
you can see how, like, my name's Mark, right? And then
Yeah.
Ruggiero's from Naples. So I was the kid in school that I went to the schools I went to. Literally, I was still the kid that the teacher would go, "Is Mark?" And I'd go, "Yeah, I'm here," because he couldn't pronounce my last name, right? And you
No,
want to
Mark.
talk names? So just, I won't waste a lot of time on this, but my father was going to name me Quintus Maximus, because
Quintus Maximus
he was
Ruggiero.
totally into the Roman Empire, and luckily my mother talked him into, how about Mark Antony? And they screwed it up. My middle name's Anthony, but it's okay. But
Okay.
yeah. So anyway, so yeah, names are interesting. I think
Ruggiero. Is that how you say your last name?
Ruggiero,
Ruggiero.
Ruggiero. Yeah, and
Ruggiero.
it's, hey,
Okay.
good enough, man. It's my
No,
nickname in
not
my nickname in high school is Cheerios. I don't that
Cheerio.
Ruggiero
Mark Cheerio.
Cheerios.
I like that one better.
Yeah. So let's see. We got Mike Berticelli here from the wonderful land of Fresno, California. Now, Mike is in the. I don't know if you're looking at the YouTube chat, but
Yeah.
you don't have. But yeah, somebody new to the hobby says it's great to see the excitement. I know it is. I mean, this is really phenomenal. Now, just if you don't know, Mike is the designer for GMT Games Tank Duel. He's also got Wolfpack coming out. And Mike, put in the chat. Am I missing anything else? I'm
Mike,
sure.
that's so cool. If you're talking
Yeah.
about GMT games, and I know we had touched on it earlier, Twilight Struggle, but actually I found out about Twilight Struggle. It was at my local library to check out. And didn't get into playing it. I got to setting it up and reading some of the rules and seeing how some of the things worked. But that's I know it's a little bit more political based, but
Ah, it's a
um,
great Cold War, right? So it's, a lot of us old guys. I use that, relatively speaking, but because I'm still like 12 years old in my head.
vintage men, vintage
Yeah,
men.
we're experienced. It's like I tell my wife. My wife's about 6 months older than me. Which, if you're familiar with the ladies, obviously, is, or your partners, whatever, is the especially when it comes to women, it's like she's 6 months older than me, so therefore she's smarter, which she is. She's way smarter than me. But when it comes to actual age, oh, it's only 6 months, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
But but yeah, no, I always tell I said we're not old, we're just experienced. That's all,
Simple as
right?
that. A little bit more seasoned. Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Oh
I
man,
mean,
I got you.
wow.
My girlfriend is 23. I'm 24. And she'll never be, and it's, she
How old is
adores her.
she?
She's 23. She's 23.
Oh, okay. So you're a cradle robber. Okay, I get it.
Yeah,
No,
so
I'm just
listen,
kidding.
yeah, I'm grandpa to her for playing these
Oh
board games.
shit.
I am
Yeah.
grandpa to her, and but I love it. I'll stay in the house. I'll pour up, maybe some bourbon or something. Get to, reading some rules or something, or even get to solo play, and I love it. I'm staying out of trouble. I definitely lived a different life, 4 years ago than where I am today. So, yeah, man, I'm grateful for it too, because like I said, growing up as a kid and just seeing some of the board games and bigger stuff, and now I'm finally in a place to get to it, man. It means a lot. And even so,
Uh,
I'm busy, but when I can and I can fit it in my schedule, man, I think, thank God, I think the things that I do to so I can make the time for it, and I enjoy it.
so Vlad, yeah. So let's see. Vlad sees he's from the Philippines, I think, and he was saying he says my wife and I played Twilight Struggle and ended with a draw. I gotta say, I'm jealous. My wife puts up with my gaming, but she absolutely does not play. And I'll tell you what, even Yvonne, if you get, I'm going to call you Ivan. Okay, sorry, I
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Ivan. Ivan's a strong, good name. It's like I'm Ivan. I'm going to
Even
kick your ass.
yeah.
Like, um, sorry, but I will say this. Uh, uh, if your girlfriend plays, then she's a keeper, dude. Okay, don't let her. Don't let her off the
We're
hook.
getting there slowly but surely. And funny, I'll share a quick story. When I was starting to organize ASL starter kit, I wanted to finish organizing that night, and I wanted to see if I can to run, a little bit of the game with her. I gave her the rule book. And now this first mistake was letting her read it on her bed, but she maybe got about through one section, and as I was organizing, I didn't hear anything, and she was sound asleep. so so I was like, you know what? That's more than I can ask for. That's a start, And with her support, like I said, but slowly but surely. And actually, crazy enough, she does play. I led my first full 5-player game of classic Axis and Allies with some of her friends. They all enjoyed it. They all enjoyed it, and I
And
have.
Axis and Allies, by the way, is a war game. Okay, let's just be really clear. Okay, and
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
but there's some people. It's not a war. No, it's a war game. It is. It's just like, yeah, absolutely. So don't. I have it. I have it in my collection. So, you know, and I have the 1986 version, and I have the 1940, the one that's and I haven't played that. I have played it, but it's been a while. But
Yeah, no, that's the one. That's actually my most recent pickup. Again, the global
stack.
edition.
Which one?
And the 1940. At both the second editions of 1940 X and Allies. That's my most recent pickup, and I'm hoping to host, a full, I think like a 6-7 player game that you can do on there. So, I
Sta-
that's
Stacking Limit from Virginia says that him and his wife will play Worthington games like Gettysburg. I'm amazed at this. Like, I'm gonna get my wife in here and be like, "What the? I mean, hey, come on,
come
man."
on, man. No, we're here to support
I'm
you. I
just
love
kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm a very lucky guy because she's put up with all my crap for 40 years. So,
40
that
years of marriage,
that
Mark.
that's the
Man,
key. Yeah. Well, 30. We got met in 1984 and got married in 1986. So, but that's the key. By the way, don't let nobody tell you different. The key to a successful relationship is let them, be in charge. The 50-50 shit don't work. Trust me. No, just
hey,
no, I'm just but oh shit. Okay, but yeah. Um, let's see. Let's see. I'll make sure we're not missing anything. No, we're looking good. Chris and we've got Chris so excited. He's if you haven't watched Nguya's channel, you want to talk monster games. These channels dedicated to the Durrell Krieg series in World War I, which by the way is an amazing series of games, and he does a great job with that.
Haven't heard, and I don't think have heard of Anguia's YouTube
And
channel. So
Nan Guaya is the he'll maybe we can get him to if he has a link. We'll figure it out. I need to edit some of my videos and add his link and a few other people's to my videos
yeah,
too.
I
I know.
love. If it's some, first comes, checking doing the physical stuff, but my YouTube history is full of how to play videos, new videos on checking new board games out, random rules videos on different games. So I love it. I appreciate all the content.
Oh yeah, no, there's some really good stuff out there. And then let's see here, just stacking limit, Mike. Yeah, we got some really great people here today. I was just anybody that's not ID'd yourself in the chat, say hi.
Please do.
Yeah.
Please do.
So what? So what's your so how much of the starter kit have you played so far?
So the furthest I got was a couple weeks ago. I told my buddy, he's almost a neighbor of mine. And if it's anything, if I'm going down this hole, I can play them myself, but I am a persistent, annoying person. So I will bug my friends to at least, hey man, I need to borrow you for a night. Let's run through some rules, and bless my friends. They've given me some of their time with it, and I actually got to play a bit of the first scenario of it, and I actually messed up because, like I had mentioned, I think he ended up breaking my squad. So he was playing as the Germans, and he ended up breaking my squad, and I flipped it, and it was late night. Like I said, we had already done some drinking as well, and I'm just like, man, what happens when a squad gets broken? And I completely missed that I'm supposed to put a DM counter on the squad.
Well,
So
you made a mistake, you forgot or oh my, you know what? That's it. You're okay because none of us
no,
ever do that. We are all perfect and never once make a mistake. So, and you know what? That's what, dude. I'm just kidding. You know
messing up
that.
over here,
So,
right? No, no,
nah,
no.
bro. It's all, hey, it's all good. So let me tell you something. So I say hi to my friend Dave Miller. He lives in San Jose, about an hour and a half from me. I've known
California
Dave
in here, nice
20,
man.
20 bajillion years. We've known each other. We're kids. Well, not quite, but yeah, we've known each other a long time. Um, I want to, yeah, tomorrow is coming over. I'm going to be playing Axis Empires Ultimate Edition. So that's an awesome game. Um, yeah, but what was I going to say? Um, yeah, no. So I gotta ask, like, okay, and I know I get it. Chicago's a big place, but you're like right near that Mecca store. What's that store called? Where like, oh my god, I've literally bought something from them online before. But what? It's in Mount Prospect or
In Mount
something.
Prospect. So you were mentioning, and I was almost gonna make a post in the board wargamer about it, but let's see if I can try to find it. But when you told me about that, Mark, I
Oh
have I
my
have to go. I have
god,
to go.
it's literally like I've seen pictures of the inside of the store, and my understanding is they play war games there too. But like they have this humongous freaking collection of wargaming. I mean, it's literally just awesome. And if anybody that's watching knows what I'm talking about, please feel free to. I want to say it's called Game Plus or
You hit the nail right on the head. I'm pretty sure
yeah.
it's called Games Plus, and I'm seeing some of the photos on here.
You need to go. Like I don't know what the like. In fact, you know what? We're gonna end the show right now. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over there right now.
Yeah, no. How far is that from you? I'm just
Let's check
curious.
it out. Let me put that into my phone
I
right
mean, it
now.
can't be that far. I live in California. We drive 2 hours to
Hell
go
no. I
anywhere.
It's
So,
ridiculous when some of my friends, like I'll tell them, oh, this place is 40 minutes away. And they're like, man, what are you talking about? That's so 40 minutes, man. Are you kidding me? Like I've been out in California, trying to get out anywhere, it's at least an hour.
well,
So
no, you know what's funny is the way people think. Because originally, I mean, I've been out here since I was 10 years old, but I've been back east to visit relatives, in Boston and stuff. And I never forget this. So my great grandfather lived in New Hampshire, which is like literally like 45 minutes, maybe an hour away from, I don't know, an hour and a half at the most. And I wanted to go see his plot, right? And he had a
Mhm.
big, huge dairy farm and blah blah blah. Very wealthy. I never got any of the money. I don't know what the hell happened to it all,
Mhm.
but very interesting. Anyways, so I never forget. I'm back there visiting, and I'm like, hey, and I had vague memories of my great grandfather because when he died, I was 6 years old. So I had seen him, and so long story short, though, the mentality is just so funny. It was kind of like, oh, this is going to be like an all day trip. And like it was this big ordeal. And I'm like, it's an hour and a half away. I mean, shit, I'll jump in well, when I was out, we would jump in our car and go, hey, we want to go up, go do this. It's an hour away. Okay, let's go. Boom. Like
Boom.
nothing, like,
Mhm.
because I mean, yeah, it's just kind of funny. So,
Just checking right now. Games Plus is right now. If I were to leave my house right now, 26 minutes away. So
okay, dude. So
I'm
now you
sleeping
know
here,
where you
Mark.
got to go,
I'm
right?
sleeping here, Mark. I wonder if they're open tomorrow.
Oh, I'm
So
sure they
I'll have
are,
to go
dude.
ASAP, and I'll send you some pictures once I do
Yeah,
go.
you're gonna have to. I mean, I'm telling you that place. If I had a store like that nearby, I'd be so freaking broke. Oh my god,
Yeah,
it
more
would
rooms
be.
full.
Oh my gosh. No, I mean I'm trying to obviously thin my collection, but yeah, I still buy stuff. So let's see. Okay, I don't see. Oh, so we got 14 people on now. So I know there's some people haven't said hi in the chat.
Daphne
Oh,
right there.
Daphne.
That is my girlfriend right there.
Hey. Okay, so we can't talk about Daphne anymore. Okay, we already get
No,
you in trouble, bro.
no,
No,
it's no.
Daphne. Actually, Yvonne's been very respectful of sharing some of the story. Welcome, welcome, welcome aboard. Um, so let's see. So ASL starter kit. So what else? What else you got? Okay, so let's see. Go ahead, show and tell.
All right. So
Grognard Rich from Orlando, Florida is here. Welcome,
maybe you can
Grognard.
give me some insight on this one. I don't know if you've ever
I
seen
don't know
this.
shit about games,
No,
so
you don't know
I'm
not a
just
damn thing
kidding.
or two.
We have a
And
lot of good knowledge on here, but let's see.
this is one where I'm just like, man, I there's no really how-to videos on this, and that's kind of my bane. I really learn from videos and how-to videos. I can't really find a good one on this.
It's
And
so let me tell you a little about Air4. I can share with you what I know.
let me
Okay.
know, dude. Please
And
let me know.
I have it. Okay. But it's a Craig Taylor design. And Craig Taylor, he passed away a few years ago, but he designed that. He also designed a wonderful game called Flat Top. CV. He designed a lot of really good games. Now that particular game is not, and that's kind of interesting. There's no how to, but it's a you basically plot your move. You can play it solitaire with like bomber formations, and you're attacking the bomber formation. But it's I would, for myself, complexity wise, I don't. I would rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. Now, this is just me. For me, it'd be like a 4, maybe a 5. And but it's I think it's an interesting game. Definitely has a following. It's definitely meant for 2 players because of the written rules. But there are scenarios you can solitaire it. I would recommend, and look, opinions and tastes are, well, let's just say everybody's got one.
But
and
yeah,
and and I'm going to recommend Air Superiority series, excuse me, which is composed of games like Over the Reich, and you can write this down if you want. Octung Spitfire,
I've
Speedy
heard of
Heat.
yeah.
They're definitely up there on the complexity scale. but they're pretty well supported online. But Air Force is great. And like, I'm going to tell you something. I'd be shocked. Here's the other thing, and I don't know if you've had a chance yet. I shared my Facebook page with you. War Gamers Opponents Wanted. Now I
Yeah.
have somebody helping me run that, but there are over 3,000 gamers on there looking for opponents. And if you haven't joined it yet, join it, read the announcements, post an ad. I guarantee you there's a bunch of war gamers in the Chicago area. And I'm sure there'd be somebody that's going to be willing. And the easiest way for any of us to learn a game, right, is have somebody else teach it. So,
Yes.
but Air Force, absolutely, I would say classic
Classic.
and
Okay,
very,
good.
very, very playable. It's like, see, Mike says, if Ivan is going old school, that's okay. That's right. But
Oh,
there's so many great, like Craig Taylor was a wonderful designer. There's just some really good, and I think like you're very intelligent, and I know that just because you're in the hobby, you you'd be able to learn it by just reading the rules. The best way, and everybody learns differently, right? Visually, like you're saying. Now remember, I'm a YouTube creator, and remember, YouTube creators make mistakes, so you still got to read the rules.
you still gotta yeah, you gotta check some
But
comments and stuff and be
right.
wary of that. Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
but the good way is like how I learn a game is I read the rules, I set it up, the scenario, and then I go back to the rules and start pushing counters and stuff.
Yes.
You know,
I got to do it one night with Air Force, and I was seeing I definitely like the aspect of the two-player. You plot your points out, you plot your movement out, and you show it
right?
simultaneously. And that was really cool to see.
Well,
And I would love to play that as well. Crazy enough, there's one of my classmates, his name
all right.
Caesar.
Caesar, right?
Yeah,
Caesar or Cesar?
Cesar en español.
Cesar. Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Welcome
Thank
aboard, Cesar.
Yeah,
Sorry
yeah,
if I butcher your name. Apologies. So. No, I've worked with, doing my union work. In fact, we used to do, I'm not going to sidetrack too much. We used to do side trips down to Mexico and we would bring nurses and medical assistants and do like health checks on people and stuff. So,
mhm.
and I know absolutely no Spanish, none whatsoever.
Nothing. Come
I can
on,
say
Mark.
"Cómo está?"
¿Cómo estás? Muy bien, muy bien, muy
Yeah,
bien.
right. So,
Hey,
but I mean, I told you my brother from another mother is Alex Martinez, and he's not a gamer at all, but he's from Mexico City, and
you were telling me. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
me and him were like this, man. We're drinking. Well, we were drinking partners, and then I had to go and get sick, but we still hang out. Let's see here. Just looking here. Oh, Vlad makes a good point. He says so. The air superiority series, which I was talking about, Octung Spitfire over the
Yes.
Reich. Uh, like he said, let's see, what does he say? There's a couple older games from GDW. There's the man, what is it? I don't have my legs under me right now. I'm looking though. Wings Over the Motherland, which are the Clash of Arms games still in print. But like he said, there's actually programmed instructions in the game where you read like 3 to 5 pages of rules, pull out the game, play a scenario, read three to
Oh,
two
okay.
more pages. And there's plenty, there's a good video guy did, and there's like 235 scenarios in that game alone, Wings Over the
Jeez.
Motherland. And there's a bunch of them that are solitaire capable. So, but yeah, awesome. Awesome. Um, so what's your favorite part of wargaming so far in your journey?
In my journey. So thank you for asking that. I think it goes into a couple things and they all kind of relate together. first and foremost, individually, I don't know, man. I don't know what's with the war gamers and the rules and the complexity, but I just love digging deep into it and love learning how a game can be so complex and learning it, right? So that's one part that's just me individually, right? The other bigger part is I love sharing the experience. Even if I don't know how to play a game yet, if I'm organizing a game, if I'm leading a game, if I'm asking my girlfriend to go help me and find this for the game, I genuinely enjoy all that aspect and being able to share it because, like I said, I've growing up. I was 16 years a single kid. I have an 8-year-old sister, and she sees all my
Wow.
games and she's wanting to learn them. And she's actually Daphne and her were helping me set up 1940 Global not too long ago, and they love it. My sister's learning
Oh,
her geography and stuff with it, so it's really cool, and that just puts the biggest smile on my face. And like I said, even sometimes I might drag my friends into, "Oh, all right, we'll check it out," and they'll play. And like I said, when I was playing ASL with my friend, he never knew about it, and when he broke my squad, he's like, "Man, when are we gonna play again, man? Like when you learn the rules, let me
you
know
better
again."
strike while the iron's hot, bro. Get them,
You know?
yeah.
S-
No, so look, complexity, it's really interesting. So I'll tell you, I personally love big monster games, and I'll play anything from simple to, I mean, I play GMT's World at War, right? I play
mhm.
ASL, I play, but complexity in and of itself is if it's giving you more options, right?
Yes.
And in the immersion of the hobby, I always say whatever brings you joy, right? That's what matters because it's just like when I'm clipping counters and I'm like, I'm gonna put on some like, Slayer or fucking Megadeth or
Yes,
something,
sir.
like some, put on some nice relaxing music, right? So
It
everybody knows
is.
I'm a
It
metalhead.
is. It
So
is. I
yeah.
can't. I can't blame you on
But
that.
but
On your Zen.
uh but what I'm saying is, the in fairness, it's all good, right? And I'm glad to hear that because I can share with you. So if your friend's interested, strike while iron's hot, because I'm going to share with you something that I believe is true.
Strike while
Is
iron is hot.
it it
Okay.
it doesn't matter how complex a game is when you are introducing a new player. What's the most important is the subject matter. In other words, like, does this interest you? Because you
Mm-hmm.
can have the simplest game in the world, and if they're not interested in the subject, it
There,
just
it's dead in the water.
it ain't gonna fly. It's really
Gotcha.
not. So that's my 2 cents
Yep.
on that. Let's see, Dauntless. Oh, so Grognard Rich mentions if Dauntless, which is the Pacific expansion for Air Force. That's true, and it's a very good addition to pick up. Um,
I think let me see it because I think I even when I found Air Force in the same it's like a thrift bookstore. I found it in the same store as when I got my original copy of X Analysis. I'm trying to see if I can find it. Yes, sir. Here it still has some original ads from back then. So look at that.
oh
So
yeah,
look,
the Dune, yeah, the Duel. That's awesome, man.
yes,
Those
sir.
trips. I mean, I've done videos like trips down memory lane. I actually got like 3 games sitting here in the shrink wrap that I need to do videos on. But when you open up, it's like a time capsule, right? And especially so what's your I gotta ask this. This is so see, I'm trying to be outside the box a little. What
No, man.
what is your so you open up a game like Air Force,
Okay.
you're 24 years old.
Yeah.
What goes through your head when you open it? Like walk us through that experience because it's got to be like opening up like an ancient Egyptian tomb or something, right?
Well,
Like
I think
pretty
I think I know we've shared some of our taste in music here, and I want I hate when people say, "Oh, I'm an old soul at heart," but man, I don't know, man. I think things were, things were done with passion more in the back in the day. Things were made of substance. People gave a shit about more what they were putting out back in the day, whether it was music, food, whatever it may be. People were just putting in their heart and soul into it. So when I see stuff like this, and it just intrigues me because I am a person of character, and these games give off character. Music, the music that I listen to gives off character. I shared my rock playlist with you. I can't, of course, I'll still listen to some of the newer things today, but that's very far and few between. I always find myself going back listening to some Floyd, some Metallica, some Def Leppard. Who else? Steve Miller.
Iron Maiden. Oh wait, yes, I said that out loud.
Iron Maiden, as
ACDC, right?
yes, hardcore Iron Maiden, all the nine, man. And um yeah, I wouldn't want to say I'm an old soul, but it's just like I enjoy the older things. I enjoy the finer things in life, I guess you could say.
It's
And,
interesting you say that because from perspective point. I want you to continue because I'm really interested to hear more in that piece as far as when you open the box, like the ads. But I got to tell you, like I think I'm an old soul, but I base that on my grandfather and the his fedora and his suits and he was a barber. He was an immigrant from Sicily, and
mhm.
you know. But it's interesting. So you think you're an old soul, which is cool, right? But your perspective is like my prime, like the '80s, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Like in
Yeah.
there. And I would, but anyway, I continue. I want to hear more about this. So you open the box, and well, I'm really interested. Like, what do you think of the ads? The
I was
especially
heating up.
yeah.
Check it out. So when I opened this one too at first, and I don't know if I knew about the original squad leader yet when I first picked this up. But there was actually some ads for it there, and I knew about starter kit. Though, because again, I think I just found out about it through some YouTube recommendations. But let's see if I can find the one here. So I saw a little. I don't know if you can see Cross of Iron on there.
Oh
You
yeah.
know,
So let me
there you
yeah,
go.
let me tell you something. So squad leader, like I have it in my collection. Will I ever play it again? Probably not because I play ASL. And don't get me wrong, there's a huge following that still plays squad leader, right?
Hmm.
But I'm gonna be heresy here. I'm gonna be like, just play ASL. It's a much better game, in my opinion.
I was checking
Oh
all this.
yeah, look at that, man. I gotta tell you, so Hitler's War, great game. They're all good games. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know if you realize it or not. You actually live in a new golden age, right? Um, so I did want to say, Mike says in the chat when you're teaching somebody new, and I'm not quoting him exactly, but let them win the first time. So I would say this, yeah, don't beat the crap out of them, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
they're going to be like, because I used to know a guy who could never figure out why he couldn't get new players, and he would play the La Bataille system, and he'd be like, okay, now I'm going to be the French Imperial Guard with this great morale and all the high fire strengths, and I'm going to let you be the Prussian Landwehr with and just blow them away, and then he'd wonder why they never came back, okay?
Yeah.
And it's like, you want people to have fun. That's for damn sure. Oh my God, we got Hexy from West Virginia here.
Hex
So,
to hex.
yep,
I've seen the
Hexy.
name.
Yep, he's got a great you want some great how-to videos and stuff, phenomenal channel.
I think,
Welcome.
man, now that you mention, I think maybe without even noticing, he'll have to be in my YouTube search history, hex to hex for sure.
Yeah, no, he's great. So let's see. How we doing? Oh, we're doing shit. We're see. I told you, time's flying by, man.
That's because
So
we're having fun.
yeah, it is. It's great. What? Okay. So let's see. You did ASL starter kit, Axis and Allies. You got Air Force. I'm gonna ask you, what else do you got?
So, like I said, I got the Axis. I got Axis and Allies, Pacific and Europe, both the second editions. Those were my newest ones. I do have Axis and Allies, the 1980 version, Milton Bradley, and then
Oh, I said 86, didn't I? Yeah, 80. That's
yes,
the one I meant. Because I played it. Yeah, it came out, man. But
80.
anyway,
I'm pretty sure is the Nova Games version, the one with no
I have
miniature.
that too, and it's worth like
Yeah, that one. That one's
$100.
crazy.
Yeah. But keep going.
Um,
Keep going. What?
and think that's about it. Twilight Imperium. I got
Okay.
19 Axis and Allies, 1940 Global. I
Right.
got the original Axis and Allies, ASL, and Air Force.
So let's
Don't
see.
think
Is Daphne still on? I'm sorry, did I butcher her name? Let me look.
no, that's perfect. She may
Okay.
or may not be on here still.
Well, whatever. If she's not, so I'm gonna. Well, whatever. So I just gonna prepare her because eventually, even Ivan, you're gonna have like a lot of us. You're gonna have like 500 games. I just want you to know that. Just be
Hey,
prepared for
I'm
that.
looking for it.
It's coming. Okay. Like she's gonna be like, "You're insane. What are you doing?" And you're gonna be like, "Okay, dear." I'm just but anyways, yeah, my wife is like, "You got another box, Mark," and I'm like, "Oh my god, I must have pre-ordered that like last year, I
Oh
think."
man, I've been really wanting this one.
But
So,
yeah,
but
it's keeping your kid alive. Always remember that. This will,
I'll share a
yeah,
very fond a memory of her,
please.
and maybe like you said, I'm with the reason I'm in school and I'm trying to work is because I'm trying to get set up here, and I had mentioned Twilight Imperium to her, and I don't think I had no, I didn't have any board games before Twilight Imperium. I had mentioned it to her. She knew that I was into it. For my birthday last year, I had, she gave me this brown covered thing. And as I felt the weight on it, and I was like, no way, this can only be couple, 2, 3 things here going on here. And I unboxed it, and it was Twilight Imperium, man. And I was blown away. I was sincerely, I don't know if I ever told her that personally, but I was blown away. I was, I sat down with that box and I was looking at it, the rest of the night. And I think not too long after that too, I think like the following weekend, I got some card sleeves, went over to her house and we started sleeving it up. So yeah, man, I think that's why we're able to be our true selves around each other, So
No, that's awesome. I got really quick. So Rough Swordsman is here from England, but you know what? It's so great you share that because so I have an Avalon Hill Anzio in my collection, and I actually did some videos on it a few months ago. I love Anzio. It's a great game. But actually, when I was 14, was it 14, 15 years old? So yeah, I was about 15. So last year, bet I know I'm not very good at humor. But my girlfriend gave me that for my birthday. And she's long. We're actually still in touch a little bit, but just as friends, obviously. But I still have it in my collection, and I cherish it. Like I'll never sell it. So
I don't know if she's I said this to her and I don't know if she laughed at it. I don't know if she said it joking, but I said, hey, I'm gonna pass this down to my kids. Like I hope you know that. I'm gonna take great care of what especially of that gift
look,
and the rest of my collection.
right. So
So,
let's see. So we got. Let me see here. So Daphne, and then who's Dabs?
Dabs, that's one of my friends. That's one of
Oh,
my
okay.
friends. Yeah.
Welcome. And I see he looks like he's got some. His
He's
pictures
a
look.
he's a
He's
he's a
40K.
Warhammer
Yeah.
he's a
See, I'm.
Warhammer painter, and he actually led a game of Kill Team not too long ago, and that was
And
great. I was for so long the guy learning and reading rules. It was so refreshing for him to have a passion for Warhammer and say,
Oh,
hey,
that's a great question.
you know,
No, really quick, I want to say this, and don't let nobody kid you. So my kids play Warhammer, and they're 36 and 38, but that's actually a war game too. Don't let nobody tell you different.
yeah,
But Mike, you should be able to see on the screen,
yes,
has a
sir.
question. Is what part of history do you like? And I know you can read. It's just old habit, right?
No, no,
But
yeah.
what part of history do you like that, and it doesn't have to be one, but I think, that's a great question.
Got you. So I gravitate towards all theaters of World War II. Crazy enough, well, I'll share my recent experience and I'll share how I got into it. So one of the most recent, things I actually did with my girlfriend, we watched a 2 hour documentary. It was like, I think it's from Real Time History on YouTube, explaining, just going through like the turning point of World War II, the whole Tunisia operation, what was going on in Italy and whatnot. And I don't know, man. I don't know if it's an affinity that I have for it. I just, war is a crazy thing, and once you start to hear those numbers of, how many people, actually participated and gave their life and what they were doing, it's something to
I
behold.
I think to me what's always held my interest. Now we all hopefully can agree war is a terrible thing and it needs to be ended. But that being said, it's the human story. It's the courage. Like I'm going to tell you something. So if you watch enough documentaries, especially about Normandy, there's this one clip that almost always gets shown. And it's these three guys. They're running up the beach, and one of them drops like a sack of potatoes. Okay. And you know what happened to that poor guy. Now, whether he got killed, I don't know. But, and I tear up when I watch this stuff because I think about the courage. I mean, most of it, they're kids. They're always kids, right? And
That's what,
and
yeah.
and well, because we're gonna live forever when we're 18, when we're 20, when like we're gonna. But and and thankfully, like you said, I'm a veteran. I was never shot at, thank God. But uh, I think to me, it's the human aspect. It's just very interesting. Uh, this just the whole thing, the whole and it makes you think the strategy that like from the high level of I'm in command to and then books, oh my god, I got so many books,
Mhm.
and so I guess I would ask that, I don't know if any of that made any sense, but
No, no. I'll chime in on that and how you say like the human aspect
Christopher
and
DeClerc, hey, welcome, go ahead, I was just
the
welcome
whole human aspect of
Christoph.
it. I am someone who likes to connect with people in that way, and how you mentioned courage. Obviously, I have not served, but I did train MMA for 2 years. I ended up getting I fought, I made weight and whatnot. And before my experience in MMA, I would say that I was a person that allowed myself to be stepped on. I wasn't necessarily someone who could stand up for myself and forget about myself, right? There was certain situations where I should have spoke up for, some friends, or, I could have done something for them. And because of the person who I wasn't, whether it was confidence or not believing in myself, I didn't go through with it. And going through and learning MMA and the martial arts, and it's just, it's about a quote that I really like the most. It's from my track coach back in high school: "Adversity makes the man." And I think that holds levels to it. Who everyone, and especially in today's day and age, everyone's so comfortable. We're all behind a screen. Everything's handed to us, but
Right,
who are you really when you're under pressure,
right.
And to hear some of those stories of those guys out there, simple as it may be, or as crazy as how some of those stories may get, to hear that human aspect and to know how young those guys were that were serving out there and they were doing out there. um
Yeah, let me oh shit, sorry, let me say this, and I don't want to sidetrack it too much, but like
Very good.
Mike says he's watching UFC right now.
Oh
It's like there's
yeah,
a big
I'm going
fight
to a buddy's
today.
house
And
afterwards too.
yeah, so there's I would say this about courage, right? Uh, for me, I've actually never, well, I've shared it with people, but I was the kid that, like, I used to be so shy and picked on and all this bullshit and had to learn to stand up for myself. And,
Yeah.
But I would say this, you know, true courage is it's not magic words, but I mean, I learned a lot of confidence in things when I was in the service. And also, like, I think, you know, we've talked offline about it, but I also learned a lot of courage from working in my union work with, um, you know, home care workers. And, you know, it's predominantly people of color, which I can never, you know, be that person. What I always like to say is, but I never know what it's like because who am I? A middle class white boy, right?
Yeah.
But what I can say, so I'll never know what it's like to walk in those shoes. But I've learned true courage by being like, so what do you need, my brother, my sister?
Yes,
I
sir.
can support you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and I don't want to get too sidetracked, but it's a big part of my life has always been a fight for economic and social justice. And but anyway, I'll just leave it at that. But the courage comes in many levels, and I'm glad to hear that the martial arts. The only martial arts I ever did was I learned a little bit of judo, which is mainly defensive. Like I
Mm-hmm.
learned how to fall and different things, right? But
Yeah.
so look, hey, it's 6 o'clock here. I know it's 8 there, and I don't mind going a few minutes over. So, and I'm gonna definitely hang around. Who's Barb? That must be one of your friends too, right?
Yes, another classmate of mine.
Welcome.
I'm, I'll chime in and say this. I think in the beginning of the year, as we were learning about each other, right away, because I had my collection growing and whatnot, but I'm like, guys, board games, forget about all the other stuff. I'm a huge board gamer. I got these games, and they, just because of the way I am, they're like, man, what the hell, who's this guy? And this guy's 24 years old and he's playing these fucking big ass board games, complicated ass board games,
No,
and it's a little bit intriguing into them, and I'm glad that I'm able to share with that. They've been so accepting of it as well.
oh, so Ref Swordsman out of England is asking, and he's got a great channel too, by the way. He's like, he's Yvonne, do you have your own YouTube channel?
So I do not, and that's a really big thing that I do want to start up.
Right.
I do. I'm clearing out my room. I'm trying to, and I'm trying to. I really want to get that set up.
I I think I really think what's great is you can bring such a like cool perspective to our hobby because you know, look, I know that there's on the majority of us are in now in our mid to late 50s or older. But there is actually a good and I can speak to it because I've taught a lot of people, but there's actually a decent number of 30 somethings getting in the
Hmm.
hobby. And it's good to see, you know, younger people getting in, but you do bring a really neat perspective. So when you do start the channel, you make sure you let us know because we'll help spread the word.
I
But what
after being
what so what no, I'm sorry, go ahead.
After being in here, man, and definitely talking to you and being in those Facebook groups, and as my collection is growing, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. So I'll make sure to relay that information to you. And hearing that from you, man, too, that gets me giddied up. I won't lie. So
I no, I'm really super happy you got on there or got joined me today because this is a show I like to feature the you know the wargamer. I need to get Mike Berticelli to come on Mike. We're gonna talk. You got my oh look at see I'm yelling like he can hear me. I know he can hear me on here, but anyways, sorry my damn fucking
look,
key.
Christopher Clerk, he just said that he searched up my name and he got good soccer player results. See what I was saying?
Oh, that's
It
awesome.
was
See,
right
I
though.
don't know a lot about soccer. I know that I when I was a kid growing up in San Jose, right? Now, granted, he was from Brazil, but like I know about Pele, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right, big star way back when. But the other thing that Christoph said that was really interesting was he's like Mike Tyson. Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. Right? So that's true. But let's hope that we can start to solve our problems too with more love and understanding of each other,
Hey,
man.
I agree with you
But
one
you got
hundred
to know
percent.
how to defend yourself and
I'm
you need
pretty
to.
malleable. You know, I'm
See,
pretty. I have a
Daphne
high.
said she'll be your cameraman. Look at that.
She,
Like you
I'm
got a whole
saying
like. There you go, bro. Okay, so we're gonna see Ivan launch his new channel here in the next 6 months. There you go. You got 6 months.
6 months.
Oh,
You
let
gotta
me
give me
let,
some.
let me ask this because I'm the worst when it comes to like I never want shit to end, right?
Hmm.
What's your you got anything you want to say to the community, to the uh what's your
To
any
the
what do you want to add? Because this is gonna be on my channel, and like I said, we're gonna get lots of people are gonna watch this after the fact. So
to the few watching here, and to the millions and millions that'll reach out
I
afterwards.
wish, right? But it's okay. No, we get, but yeah,
It will. In general, I'd like to say, it's never too late to start something you love. Um, and don't let anyone's else's opinions on it, on when you want to start and where you want to go with it, ever deter you from doing it. Like I said, and if you're my friend, I'll defend you till the end. As long as you're not hurting anyone else or yourself. Like if you want to go and do, what may seem like a stupid little hobby, I'm gonna support that 100%, man. And um, I think that's just really my whole prerogative in life, man. Like you said, this I think what's missing in this world is just like that friendly aspect. Like I said, we're just all behind screens now. The whole C word, messed up a lot of things in the world, and it's just things have been a little bit different. So I want to be human again, and sharing this is a hobby that I feel, especially that you can play with face to face. I think
right.
that's something really great. So
We've sorry, go ahead.
just with that, oh yeah, just with that being said, man, it's just I'm grateful every day. Like I said, it's something that I just recently got into, and it's sparking my inner child, and it's definitely a hobby, like you said, that I know I'm gonna carry out till I'm older, and later on I'm gonna tell my kids about it for sure. So other than that,
See,
man, yeah, have fun, be grateful. I'm always here. I'm always here to listen and take in whatever. Please don't ever feel
right.
free to reach out. I love it all. So yeah,
You're on Facebook, which was so Rough Swordsman says he's ready to subscribe. I think we all would. And then Grognard Rich, he grew up in San Jose. Cool. I was in San Jose from fourth through fifth grade, and then moved to Oroville. He'll know where that's at if he's from California, been out here. And he says, pace yourself. So I'll just say this: it keeps the 10, 12-year-old alive in me, and I'm 58, right? So it's definitely a part of that magic. I call it magic.
yeah.
I want to really thank you for joining me today. The pleasure is all mine, brother. Welcome to your friends, your girlfriend. I hope people watch this. It's great and wonderful to see young people. I'll just say this: the future is yours. Okay,
Thank you.
it really is. It's you know and don't get me wrong, like we're still going to be around for a few years, but the future is yours. So look forward to seeing what you do in the future. And I just say thanks for sharing your journey. And that's what's number one, people, is enjoy your journey. It's far too short, and make the most of it. And Ivan, thanks a lot, man. We'll talk soon, man. Because uh, and Daphne, be his cameraman, okay, and keep him straight. I already before you got on, I filled him in that as long as you're happy, see, that's his number one job, okay. So now he knows.
It's
That's what's
nice to meet everyone here as well. Thank you so much, Mark. I had a blast, and I promise you, as soon as I promise, I'm gonna get on it. I have to be a man of my word, and as soon as this YouTube channel starts up, I'll have to inform everybody else. But thank you so much,
uh,
Mark.
have fun, brother. All right, hey man,
And
we'll talk soon, and hopefully, maybe one of these days I'll meet you at a convention, and I'll look forward to hearing from you person on your report when you get out to Mount Prospect
Yes, I
to
will
the
send you
store.
a
So,
text. Hopefully, I can get to it this week. No, now that I saw it's that close, it's
it's all good. Take your time,
mission
bro.
number one on the way. So
All right.
sounds good, Mark. Thank you, Vlad. I see the comment. I'll make sure to join the ASL Facebook and Discord. I'll make sure to pop in and I'm always active on those groups. But other than that, thank you, Mark, and I hope to speak to you soon. You have my number.
All
You
right.
can reach out
Yeah,
anytime.
you know it, brother. We'll be in touch. Take care. Thanks, everybody, for
Good
joining.
night,
Until the
everybody.
next Ruggiero's Corner. See you later.